Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. The other day, my friend Lexi asked me, and she said, how can I fight off boredom in my home cooking? Before I adopt my fast cooking system, boredom is definitely a problem. Every time I walk in the kitchen, my mind seems to draw a blank because I don't know what to cook. I am afraid of repetition, and cooking presents almost no sparks at all. I still remember the blank look on my wife's face, the total lack of interest in what I put in front of her. I feel depressed. I feel like I'm a failure, and to the point that I almost afraid to enter into the kitchen every night to cook. And then I remember seeing this sign. It said, "Who knew that the hardest part of being an adult is figuring out what to cook for dinner every single night for the rest of your life until you die?" Then I remember how food is important in making our life interesting. Now, I cook 7 days a week, and it really works through my fast cooking system. I find my food is interesting, exciting, and in many ways creative. I no more complaints from my wife, and I hate to brag, the system really works well. And now we hardly eat out. We save money, and we cook the food with the flavor we love. And in many ways it's life-changing because the food is much healthier and it tastes great. And this makes home cooking sustainable. And I don't think we will ever change in the way how we eat. And the reason that it works is through my fast cooking systems. With its 4 attributes, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, it will make ordinary food taste special because of the unique combination that I am able to put together. And when you adopt my fast cooking system, you will create your own individual combination. The secret against boredom and repetition is advanced prepping and template-based cooking. And together they will make your home cooking always interesting, creative, and original. I know you might think this is an exaggeration, but it's actually true. I rarely cook the same dish twice. I always refine my old dishes. At the same time, I create new ones. The best way for me to show you how this system works is through demonstrations. It is about 2 nights ago. I cooked, you can call it a new dish. It is a vegetable dish that with sweet potato noodles. And when I cook this dish, I know I have a large margin of error. I have 70% confidence that it would turn out great. And 25%, it might turn out to be excellent. And only 5%, it potentially could be a failure. And the reason is because I have a system. A system is very important because with the system, I have 90% familiarity with the template. And only 10% within the template is experimentation. Advanced prepping is the ultimate source of inspiration. Because with what I have on hand, I learn how to make compromises. I make my cooking more flexible, and I tend to be more creative. Basically, I will play the best hands with the cards that I have. Stir frying is probably the ultimate cooking technique because stir fry allows you to cook different dishes using the same basic template. And in this case, it is based on a vegetable stir fry template. And as my friend Wayne once remarked to me, he said once he learned how to use the template, he go to the grocery store and he said to himself, I can cook any of those vegetables because with my basic vegetable template, I can adapt it for cooking all kinds of vegetables. This empower him to look at home cooking in many different ways. It allow him to see possibilities and look at the potential of what he could achieve. I remember my friend Eugene once said to me, advanced prepping really is the driving force of the menu for the evening. Because you open up the refrigerator, you look at what is available, what needs to be used, and based on this, you create a combination, a dish that will match what is on hand versus what your desire for flavor and the ingredients that you would like to have in your dish. And this provides the ultimate flexibility. The first ingredient I select to add to this dish is some jalapeno pepper. Now, I normally do not cook with jalapeno pepper, particularly in combination with baby bok choy. However, because of its availability, it prompted me to experiment with it. I know it might be a surprise, but I believe that it might turn out to be interesting. So availability frequently drives the use and to create new combinations. And next, I add a little bit of purple cabbage, again because I have it available. And I'm going to add a little bit to provide color for the dish. And this is followed by some shiitake mushroom. Again, I have them available on hand, and I decided this might be an interesting experiment to try all these combinations. To me, experimentation is an important part of home cooking, because through experimentation, it makes home cooking more spontaneous, and this is driven by intuition. And the end result is creativity. Now, creativity is vital to make home cooking interesting and to make the food diverse, because that leads to innovation. And when I walk into the kitchen each night, I know that this is going to be interesting because it will create novelty and it make my home cooking satisfying. What makes stir frying such a great cooking technique is its flexibility. For example, here I add some white mushroom at this stage of the cooking process. This allows stir frying to be inclusive, so you can combine different ingredients in the wok. And through this flexibility, you can cook each of these ingredients to their optimum texture and flavor. And my friend Gary, he is a jazz musician. After he adopted my fast cooking system, he told me that how much he enjoyed cooking this way because it is just like when he played jazz. There are no restriction what you can do other than follow a basic framework. And in this case, once you have a template that you can follow by, you know things is going to come out well because the basic framework will guide you through the process. But the end result is that there is almost endless variations and creativity. This dish is created completely by intuition, and this is the result of a unique combination that are driven by availability, by my flavor preference, also by my past experience of what will work and will not work together. And the seasoning is entirely based on what I feel like at the time. So in this case, I just use basic seasoning mix because I would like to have a dish that with a relatively clean taste without too much sauces. The basic seasoning is a very light seasoning mix, and the goal is to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients in the dish. In this case, I want to be able to taste the bok choy, the shiitake mushroom, and the white mushrooms. The final step in finishing up cooking this dish is to add the sweet potato noodles. The reason for making this choice is simply due to availability. I happen to have some sweet potato noodles that are left behind from a hot pot dish that we had about a week ago, and it's about time for me to use it up. Now, this availability also are driven by personal preference because my wife loves sweet potato noodles, and I thought this will create a unique combination. I have never cooked it with baby bok choy and shiitake mushroom in the same way before. So this is again a demonstration how with all these factors comes in. You never really have to worry about what you're going to cook that evening, because when you open up the refrigerator door, you will provide with cues of how to cook the dish for that night. So what was the result of this dish? Now it's okay, it's great actually, but I don't think it's outstanding. One thing I can say is that I learned something, because each time when I cook dish like this, I will know what to do next time. This is an advantage of this cooking system, because you continue to grow with it. Since each time when you enter into the kitchen, you probably will do something different. And this make it interesting. And this, for me, it make me want to continue to cook. I see possibilities and I see potential. Well, since I have never cooked a dish like this before, at least my wife will not be able to complain that, oh, you are cooking the same thing again. I really believe in my fast cooking system. It works for me, help me to make home cooking as part of my daily routine, and it is practical, efficient, creative, and fast. If you have a similar goal, you might want to check out my fast cooking system. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a video each day to help you to adopt my fast cooking system. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.